Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to go to part 2 of our early start for the new patch, the combat patch in Mirthwood. So if you haven't seen part 1, go ahead and watch that. Now we're in part 2. So part 2 is running. We are going to run all over the freelands, and the reason we're running all over the freelands is we're going to open up some fast travel spots. We are going to grab some defense, we are going to grab a stronger sword, and we're going to grab a stronger armor piece. That's our goal. The problem, of course, is we don't have the horse, so we want to open up those fast travel spots as quick as we can, so we can go all over the map. The other reason I'm having you go all over the map is each of these campsites has a box of materials in it, and you can grab them. And if you have noticed, we haven't farmed at all. We haven't used our pickaxe, we haven't used our axe, so we're going to rely on these early material boxes from the campsites in order to stockpile some early game materials so we can get crafting as quickly as possible what we need. But with this route, all you have to do is follow me on the video, all I'm doing is following paths and then taking little shortcuts to go open up the different campsites. On the way there, if you know, like for example, I found here a cooking pot, so I was like, okay, I'll stop and cook. If you find some, but for the most part, I only stopped to cook. I did not stop anywhere else. So here's a hunter's hut. I'm running past a hunter's hut, and if you remember, there's usually a boar here, but I don't care about that. I'm running straight through, and the reason I'm running straight through is I'm going to the bandit camp. There are 3 bandits in the camp. Fight them if you wish. I didn't. I just ran past them. So if I approach the camp from the south, I'm able to loop around and just quickly get to this chest that you see on here and grab the copper sword and just get out. I'm not going to fight. The reason I'm getting the copper sword is you can see on the screen the copper sword gives us 7 damage in the early game, which is great. With the copper sword in hand, I'm going to go directly south and unlock the Old Forest campsite. Now here's where it gets a little bit interesting. So before, I used to take you to Lucid Lake to grab the copper ring, but I discovered that there's another copper ring directly south of the campsite on my way to the lakeside campsite. So I said, what's the point of going around and looping to the foothills? Well, if you want to follow that path, go up to the foothills and unlock that fast travel spot. In my opinion, it's worth it. But for the sake of brevity and for making this as quickly as possible so you get to your strongest early game as early as possible, I'm going to skip that part. But the Lucid Lake is over by the foothills over there where I'm pointing at the map. If you want to go there, go ahead. But you don't have to. If you go directly south of your campsite and you follow this road from the Old Forest campsite, you follow this road, you're going to get to a point where you cross the painter guy, and then you're going to find a bandit camp. The bandit camp usually has an assassin or a regular bandit. You're going to go a little bit further, and then while you're right on top of the lake that you can see on your screen there, you're going to go south, and you're going to make a beeline south for that. So the reason we're doing this is we're on your right hand side, you'll see that there's a mountain and there's a little incrop or outcrop, and I can go in there and I can grab the copper ring. So this is the copper ring I didn't know about. So I'll keep going south from that copper ring until I get to the lakeside campsite. Again, if you want to go get the Lucid Lake and the Foothills campsite, go ahead. You'll have 2 copper rings on you like I have right here. I just chopped the video so you wouldn't waste any time. So if you don't want to waste any time and be as most efficient as possible, just go down the path I just told you, get the 1 copper ring. It sells for like 50 gold or something, so it's not a ton of money and you're not missing out on much. You are missing out on the fast travel spot, but this isn't the original guided walkthrough, so I don't need it. So I've been collecting all this stuff on me, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not fighting. I'm not doing anything. Now my goal is from the lakeside campsite, I'm going to loop around from the bottom and go to the plains campsite, fast travel, and unlock that. Now there is a problem, and I ran into it right here, the Spriggans. There is a Spriggan around this area, and it aggroes you. Oh man, you got to be careful. You just got to run. I could fight it, I guess, but it would take me too long, and that's not the point of this walkthrough. I'm just trying to get you as quickly as possible to your highest possible power points, I guess you could call it. So I ran past, Spriggans still chased me, and I went to the Lonely Plains, and then I went northeast, and I ran into Morwen's house, which is part of another quest that we're not going to do right now. And then I'm going to keep going northeast until I get to my camp on the plains. So the problem with the camp on the plains is that usually you have an assassin waiting for you, which I had a Spriggan chasing me, and I had an assassin, and I said, okay, well, I guess it's time to buck up. So I fought. You can see my health is really low, but I took care of them both. You can go in fast travel and come back. They'll be waiting for you, so it doesn't matter. Try to fight or try to get away from them as quickly as possible. So I've unlocked all the fast travel spots. Now I'm going to go run south from my camp to the crossroads. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to unlock the crossroads because the blacksmith there sells really good weapon diagrams. Now, I'm not going to buy any weapon diagrams, but I might as well just run through the crossroads. And there's another reason you want to run through the crossroads. There are boars in this area, and boars do a crap ton of damage for the amount of defense you currently have. It doesn't matter. They do 3 quick attacks that each do like 18 damage, and it puts you like at 1 health. So I rested before I took off, and the main reason was to replenish a little bit of my energy and a little bit of my health, because I know those boars are there and I didn't want to waste any potions. I think I ended up using one anyway. But yeah, from here, I just go directly southeast to the crossroads, follow that path, and like I said, a boar followed me there, and I was lucky enough to be able to not die and the 3 hits it does to me. So you'll see right here, look at this, 1, 2, 3. Look how much health I have left. It's crazy. And then the other boar just came at me and I was like, all right, I'm done. So you'll notice something interesting. Because I haven't picked up the quest for the bandit blockades, there are no blockades. So it's great. I can just run past them, not a problem. Because I have not gone to the farm to grab the Daughter in Need quest, something else interesting happens, which I'll show you. From here on this path on the crossroads, you see how they diverge? Just go directly to the right. The reason you're going directly to the right is we're going to the camp on the plains, which is right there. And there are silt lurkers around here, so be careful and just run as quickly as you can up this hill, grab the fast travel spot, and we're done. You can grab the materials from each of the camps we've been at, of course. Stone, wood, limestone you can do without, doesn't matter, but everything else is there. So now the last piece of the puzzle is we're going to go and pick up the strongest armor we can just pick up in the overworld, which is the bandits brigadine. You can craft that from stupid silt lurkers. You can craft that from defeating Darcy, but you need to craft it. And I said, well, why craft it if I can get it for free? And because I haven't triggered, like I said, a Daughter in Need, there are no bandits in this bandit camp, but their loot is there. So I can, waltz up without any problems or care and just grab the bandits brigadine from this chest. So that's it. I'm done. I have a really good helmet. I have a good helmet. I'm going to get a better one in a little bit when I do the main story you can get, but the cave walkers in there are nasty. So now I have a strong brigadine. Put it on, look, good pants, and I can put on my defense. My defense goes way up, and I have a good copper sword, so I'm set for the early game, and so are you.